Phone and iPod Touch.
It's Weekend Doorbusters at Joseph A. Bank. Signature suits, regularly $7.95, an incredible $1.99. All signature sport coats, $1.99. Every traveler cashmere sweater, $99. And all executive dress shirts, $24. Saturday and Sunday only at Joseph A. Bank.
Sun Sports is your home for the Seminoles.
And the route is on!
Catch all the action of Noles football right here with Paul Kennedy and Keith Jones. Primetime Noles, Sunday nights on Sun Sports.
It's a talented group. I think this is the most talented NBA team that I've ever been on. I get an opportunity to play with guys passionate and enjoy the game of basketball.
It's about winning, and can't get enough of it.
Ready for the second half here at the Bank United Center in Coral Gables. C.J. Wilkerson's 15 points has kept North Carolina Central in it. Frank Fort along with Bob Wenzel. Bob, let's take a look at the scoring in the first half. And we talked about Miami's backcourt at the beginning of the broadcast, but it wasn't a wow first half for them.
No, neither Grant nor Duran Scott played that well. They're 2 for 8. Thankfully, Ryan Brown scored 11 points in the first half, and Reggie had 10, so they were the leading scorers for the U. And the good news for Miami is that they are up 12 points and their backcourt has not played very well.
Wilkerson finally misses from 3. He had hit all 3 of his triples in the first half. Scott and Grant work in the Miami backcourt. Donovan Kirk, Reggie Johnson, and Daquan Jones complete the Miami 5 here to start half number 2. Grant tries to feed the post, and another foul on Dijon Mans, and that is 4, Bob. And the big guys for North Carolina Central all in foul trouble.
Yeah, and that's what you would expect because they are not as tall and not as wide. He's going to have to come out of the game right here. And that was clearly a ISO play for Reggie Johnson. Watch him come in here. This was set up at halftime. He ducks in and then gets the guy on his back. It's exactly what they were looking for.
As we come back to live action, Donovan Kirk is fouled inside. And Bob, you saw that ISO. Dijon Mans is 245. He looks Lilliputian next to Reggie Johnson.
He does. Reggie's a big guy. Now this guy, Donovan Kirk, he gets the start in place of Adrian Thomas. Didn't do much in the first half. Looked a little nervous, looked a little wild. But he does have long, and he's about 6'9", so it gives him some size in there. Foul trouble rearing its head for North Carolina Central, and that's something that they're going to face when they play against these high-level teams. You know, they played, as you mentioned, Oklahoma. They're playing Miami. Their next game is at Indiana. So Lavelle Moulton is making money for the school, but getting some L's along the way.
The foul that sent Kirk to the line was on Nick Chaston, and that's his 4th as well. Miami foul on Duran Scott.
And Chaston and Mans are their 2 interior players that have the girth to compete in the paint a little bit. So Miami was very smart, taking the ball inside right away, getting 2 immediate fouls.
Miami in the zone here in half number 2. Chaston with the foul line jumper, that's good.
So he's playing with 4 fouls, and David Best is in there at the other post position, number 13. Oddly enough, they are going man-to-man right here, and that gets you in more foul trouble than zone does.
Duran Scott in control. Reggie Johnson way outside against Best. Daquan Jones trying to use Reggie for a screen. A little leaner, way off. And Clement pulls down the rebound.
This is going up.
Landon Clement on the penetration. Chaston dishes it down low. Best had it blocked by Johnson. Grant the other way. On the bounce, Daquan Jones traveling.
Well, there's an example of Jones's game. The last 2 possessions, despite being a superior athlete, 2 turnovers on 2 plays where he's just kind of out of control. His basketball IQ is going to improve with his experience as he goes along.
There's Reggie Johnson with a steal.
And Reggie, on the other hand, last 2 plays defensively, gets a block and a steal.
And a foul, and that is on Best, and that is his 3rd. Lavelle Moulton may be searching the stands for a warm body pretty soon.
Well, you got to credit Frank Haith and George Fernandez, you know, I mean, they clearly know where their advantage is, and they're going there.
Malcolm Grant with a pull-up from 14 and hits. 8 points for Malcolm Grant. It's back to a 14-point lead.
Little zone trap on the part of Miami. They did not show this in the first half, and they're back to zone here. I think they would be a better zone team than a man-to-man team with their personnel this year.
There's a blocking foul on Reggie Johnson as Nick Chaston tried to drive the baseline.
Another good news story right now is Reggie Johnson is not in foul trouble. He has gotten into foul trouble an awful lot in previous games, early in games. He's got 2 right now, which is fine at this point in the game. Gamble comes in and shares the time with him. But for them to reach their peak and be as good as they can be, that guy right there needs to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, no question, especially when they get in conference play. Clement out of the corner misses, and Gamble grabs the rebound. Malcolm Grant, skip pass for DeQuan Jones. Durant Scott does not have a field goal in tonight's game. He's 0 for 3 from the field.
Yes, and he's averaging 20 a game in the first 2.
Donovan Kirk couldn't get the little baby hook to fall. Out of bounds, belongs to the Eagles of North Carolina Central. Good move in the paint, couldn't get the finish.
Right now, they don't have much scoring in the game, the Hurricanes. Jones is not a scorer, either is Kirk, and Gamble's not much of a scorer. So the guards should be the ones involved in the offense right now with this group in there.
Justin Lemau.
I think Frank just heard me. He's sending Brown in, who was their leading scorer in the first half.
Chaston drives around Gamble, but cannot finish. David Best with the rebound knocks it in. Second hoop of the evening for David Best, who goes 250 pounds, sophomore out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, he's not bad. I mean, when they get going in the MEAC, especially playing against this kind of stiff competition, that's going to be helpful.
DeQuan Jones out of the corner for 3. And a rebounding foul on Donovan Kirk of the Hurricanes. Second half field goals, 2 for 6 for the Eagles, 1 for 4 for Miami as Darius Adams and Ryan Brown check in for the Hurricanes.
Well, now they have more scoring in the game. Grant is out, and at the point is Scott, who has long arms, and that's better at the point of a play like this.
C.J. Wilkerson on the penetration, blocked by Gamble. Darius Adams the other way. Canes have numbers.
Oh,
Adams.
what a pass!
Oh, Durant Scott set up Darius Adams beautifully.
Touch pass by the skilled player.
First basket of the night for Darius Adams. Lemau on the drive. Off to Best, who lays it in.
They're getting some plays inside, and guess who's not in the game? Reggie Johnson. And all of a sudden, the paint becomes more available to the opponent.
I take it you don't believe in coincidences, Bob. There's Donovan Kirk in the corner. Julian Gamble. Double team.
Kirk does not look comfortable away from the basket to me. I think he's more of a 4-lane guy.
Darius Adams feeds Gamble. Kick out for Ryan Brown. 3-ball on the way and in the hoop.
He is going to be a big factor for this team.
Second triple of the night for Ryan Brown, the freshman. He's got 14 points.
That's a lot of points in this juncture of the game. That was a
Chaston got a bump and will go to the line. Let's take a look once again at the fast break as we have a timeout.
The give up, the get back without even a dribble. That is a thing of beauty.
The before, the expectation, the B vitamins and carbs to ignite. The during, the collision, the power, the original Gatorade. The after, the gratitude, the protein to recover. Introducing the G Series from Gatorade, Prime, Perform, Recover.
I'm not just some guy that walks into the branch. They actually know me as Kevin, hectic father of 3. Girls.
Getting a congratulations note right after he was born really made a difference.
How about this? A check card that provides extra protection when I use it.
The biggest difference? Never being taken for granted by your bank.
The
bank you're looking for is the bank SunTrust has always been. Experience the difference. Live solid, bank solid.
A 5.3-liter V8, an EPA estimated 21 highway miles per gallon, and 20-inch chrome-clad wheels will take you through a lot of rivers and plenty of woods. During the GMC holiday event, get 0% financing plus $1,500 allowance on the Sierra Z60, plus no monthly payments until spring. It's our best offer of the year.
Sun Sports is your home for the Seminoles.
And the route is on!
Catch all the action of Noles football right here with Paul Kennedy and Keith Jones. Primetime Noles, Sunday nights on Sun Sports.
College Hoops on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southeast Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward. By the Homestead Miami Speedway, thechampionshiptrack.com. And by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid, SunTrust. Frank Fort and Bob Wenzel back here at the Bank United Center. And we'll take a look at our Geico play of the game, Bob.
If you like basketball fast break style, this is it. The give up and the give back. Credit Durant Scott. Notice how he doesn't even dribble. Catches the ball one hand, and the finish inside was very, very easy by Adams. You like basketball, you like those kind of plays.
Nick Chaston on the line, misses the first of 2 free throws.
They have a pro team in this city, don't they?
Yeah, a little group called the Miami Heat.
Yeah, they look pretty good on the fast break, too.
North Carolina Central now 0 of 3 at the line tonight as a team.
Yeah, they're not going to get there much because they shoot so many threes, and they're not an inside-oriented team playing against an ACC-level competition.
15-point lead is Miami's biggest of the night. Julian Gamble down low. Nice defense by Clement to poke it away.
Julian knows all the players on this team because he's from Durham, North Carolina.
Limau penetrates. Wilkerson for a 3. Not this time. Durant Scott.
Watch this.
Off to Darius Adams for 3.
That's what you want. Those two have been hooking up.
Darius Adams hasn't shot the ball well so far this season, but he nails that triple.
Played well at the end of the year last year, but notice how Scott picked the right guy. That easily could have been a turnover. A transition play like that. There was a lot of traffic. Scott kept his head up. He is an excellent passer.
18-point lead for the Canes. Limau feeds Best in the post. Spins in over Gamble, who fouled him.
Yeah, the Hurricanes are choosing not to double down in the post at all. And as a result, Best is getting a lot of time to put his moves on Gamble.
David Best out of Raleigh, North Carolina, 6'8", 250-pound senior, goes to the line. And we have a stoppage by our officials.
You know, Lavelle Moten has taken this. It takes 4 years to become a full Division I member, and they will be a full Division I MEAC team next year. They're not allowed to play in the conference tournament, and they're not allowed to be involved in the NCAA tournament yet.
Let's take a look at our AT&T scoreboard. Out-of-town games tonight. Clemson out of the ACC wins over Long Beach. Illinois knocks off Maryland. And North Carolina State beating George Mason. A look at our out-of-town scores brought to you by AT&T.
Illinois is going to be great this year. The Big Ten, I think a lot of people feel that is the best conference in the country. Ohio State looked great against Florida the other night. The best freshman in the country is Jared Sullinger, the inside player for Ohio State. He was fantastic in that game, scored 26 points against the Gators. So a lot going on with young people. ACC, Duke the best team, North Carolina second, and I think Florida State is the 3rd best team. Singleton of Florida State picked to be top 5 players in the ACC this year.
NC Central still scoreless at the free throw line, and the freshman Raphael Akpajori, number 10 for the Hurricanes, pulled down the rebound. Adrian Thomas triples. If it's 3, it's me.
That was deep also.
21-point lead for the Hurricanes. Pressure in the backcourt. Ryan Brown nearly had a steal. And you can see Frank Haith on the bench saying, anticipate just a little bit more.
Well, Adrian Thomas That is deep. Right there is the line. He is way beyond that. And that is his thing. And I think him coming off the bench is the best usage of his skills in a game.
Miami on a 9-0 run right now. Offensive foul. No, a blocking foul. Check it. It'll go on Akpajori, the freshman. His first foul. Akpajori out of Lagos, Nigeria, moved to Kansas to play high school basketball.
Yeah, that's only about 25,000 miles away from...
I would say that's culture shock.
Yeah, Lagos is a very, very big city in Nigeria. That's, of course, where Akeem Olajuwon came from.
Justin Limau at the line. 1-1. And they are still scoreless at the stripe as Eric Swope, the freshman from Hollywood, California, pulls down a rebound for the Hurricanes.
Eric went to Harvard Westlake, which is an independent school in the Los Angeles area. Very, very high academics.
Akpajori inside, lost the handle. Loose on the deck, and Darius Adams will reset the offense. Adams with the runner off glass, no. Wilkerson the other way for North Carolina Central. Clement, touch pass to Limau. Back to Clement, open for three. Oh, what a swat by Akpajori. Oh, Jonathan Nicely was not so nicely rejected. There's Akpajori trying to back his way in. And we have a whistle and count the basket. Well, that was a little bit of continuation. Bob, let's go back down the other end for a little D.
Well, he came from several feet away, so obviously he's got some shot blocking ability, but he was hungry for this shot at this end. Took 3 or 4 dribbles and kept powering his way over that left shoulder. Right here at the offensive end, no double team, 3 dribbles, powers his way over that left shoulder and takes it in there strongly. That is a play that's saying to Coach Frank, hey, Coach, I'd like to get some time. He didn't play at all in the first half.
3-point play completed by Akpajori.
The 3-quarter court trap has been very, very effective. Back into zone.
Glasker on the feed for Mans, who lays it in. Dijon Mans.
Full court pressure right now by the Eagles. They want to try to get some turnovers here. Not all the guards are in the game for Miami.
Adrian Thomas way outside off the back iron this time, and Wilkerson with the rebound. Akpajori knocked it away, and it'll stay with the Eagles of North Carolina Central.
Very unusual lineup for Frank Haight on the floor right now. He feels he can substitute freely with the big lead. They're doing the same things, which is the 1-2-2 3-quarter court trap, but a lot of different players in the game. No real point guard in the game at all. Darius Adams, 25, is very tall, and they feel he can play that spot. Did some last year.
There's Landon Clement, feeds it in the corner. Wilkerson, short with a 3. 0 for 5 from beyond the arc in the second half so far for North Carolina Central. Ryan Brown got a piece of that shot. Nicely misses the short jumper, and Darius Adams pulls it down. Adams nearly lost the handle, but saves it to Adrian Thomas. Now Swope. Ryan Brown on the baseline. Adrian Thomas. Darius Adams, lock and load for 3 on target.
Well, the 3-point shooting is going to be an interesting statistic for Miami this year. 3 for 19 against Memphis, a loss. They make 9 against Jacksonville University, a good win. And they're making plenty in this game right now. So the 3-point shot must be a big part of the offense for them to play well at their peak.
Hurricanes stretching it out here in the second half. And we have a timeout called by Lavelle Moten of North Carolina Central. The Miami Hurricanes loading up on the 3 balls. And they stretch this lead out here in half number 2. 11:04 to go. Hurricanes in control.
Sometimes the other Danas, they just don't accept me. I come up with great ideas, like know your batting stance. That was perfect. All right, I got an easy one for you guys since you can't get any of these.
Preston Wilson.
Focus on this part right here.
Darren Erstad. I'm getting a little tired.
You're getting tired?
Yeah.
How do you think Enos Cabell feels that you don't know his batting stance? Is it my fault these guys don't know baseball?
Sun Sports is your home for the Seminoles. Catch all the action of Noles football right here with Paul Kennedy and Keith Jones.
And the route is on!
The Noles take on the Terrapins in this crucial ACC Atlantic matchup. Sunday at 7:30 on Sun Sports. Sun Sports is your home for the Seminoles.
And the route is on!
Catch all the action of Noles football right here with Paul Kennedy and Keith Jones. Primetime Noles, Sunday nights on Sun Sports.
It's a talented group. I think this is the most talented NBA team that I've ever been on. I get an opportunity to play with guys passionate and enjoy the game of basketball.
It's about winning. Winning, and can't get enough of it.
Here comes James, all the way in. That was pretty. That's perfect Miami basketball.
Heat, Grizzlies, tomorrow at 8 on Sun Sports.
Get your teams on your schedule. The all-new FoxSportsFlorida.com.
11:04 left to go here in Coral Gables as Miami on a 15-2 run leads North Carolina Central by 25. Bob Wenzel, ACC storylines this season. We know Duke and Carolina are going to be good, but could be a surprise team or two.
Oh, yeah. Well, the defending champs, they got two starters returning, the S-Boys, Singler and Nolan Smith. The freshman of the year coming in, Harrison Barnes, first-team All-American, unheard of in the AP for a freshman who hasn't played for that to happen. Hasn't happened in 50-some years. And Craig Singleton is a terrific player, a great defender, and I think the Seminoles are going to be challengers in the ACC this year.
Miami picked 8th in the ACC media poll preseason, but Frank Haith believes they can be somewhere in the middle of that pack.
Well, they hope. And if they play defense like this, North Carolina Central in the second half, 0 for 6 from 3, 0 for 5 from the free throw line. So Miami's defense of the 3 very good, and of course their defense of the free throw is great. 0 for 5. You can't take responsibility for that, though, right?
Absolutely.
And really, in the first half, North Carolina Central was 5 for 11 from three-point range. So that got their attention. They've really gotten their defense much better from the perimeter in the second half.
And he's playing a lot of young guys right now. Akpajori backs in and draws a foul. Rafael Akpajori, again, one of those guys, Bob, that you can see him, I call it an ACC body, given a year in the weight room. You know, he can bulk up. Right now, he's 6'8", 229, but, you know, give him a year in that weight room. He certainly got the frame.
Yeah, and he's playing against big guys every day in practice, which will help his skill level as well. The guy who's most impressive in this game to me is Brown. Ryan Brown is a big-time player. That kid right there is a scorer. And the last play, he made a pass, which was a blind pass on the money, right to where his teammate needed it. He has great genetic makeup. His dad was a terrific player at Georgia Tech. He is going to be a major factor this year. He will probably be among the top 5 ACC freshmen this season. He can shoot it. He can handle it. High basketball IQ. I am very impressed with this guy.
Ryan Brown out of Hinesville, Georgia, 14 points tonight, including a pair of three-pointers. Foul was on Donovan Kirk, and that is the first made free throw tonight for North Carolina Central, as they were 0 for 6 before Jeremy Ingram knocked that one in. Hey, 2 for 2.
You know, credit Moten right here. His team is not in any kind of give-up mode. They're really hustling, they're pressing, they're trying to find ways.
Ryan Brown will back it out as we approach the halfway point of the second half here in Coral Gables.
Darius Adams doing a pretty good job at the point right now.
Donovan Kirk short with the runner. Gets it back, again can't finish. Good hustle by Eric Swope to keep the possession alive. Ryan Brown for 3, air ball. Oh, wouldn't you know it? As soon as you talk, well, you know, you boost them up and something like that happens. But that's a freshman moment.
Oh, no, he's going to be good. He has a good feel. You can tell just by watching him play.
C.J. Wilkerson is fouled by Akpajori. And you see all the big guys for North Carolina Central with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and that's what you might expect. You know, we talked to the coaches from North Carolina Central this afternoon at the practice, and I think that was a big concern for them. You know, Lavelle Moten, who was a very good player there, 3rd leading scorer in the history of the school, graduate of North Carolina Central in 1996. He's got a great understanding of what the school is about. He's taking them from Division II to Division I. Big jump. Takes 4 years to do it. Lots of games against big-time schools to get some money for the program. He's going through that, went through that last year and this year. And by next year, he feels that he will be in a position to be competitive in the MEAC, which is the conference that they will be joining.
As part of this transition, as you said, they play a lot of different teams. There are 32 Division I conferences in America. They're going to play teams this year from 14 of those conferences, travel to 8 states outside of North Carolina, and an estimated 17,492 miles of travel this year. LaBelle told us today he's got a couple of free vacations coming from all the travel they did last year.
And they're playing Indiana in their next game, so they will have played at Oklahoma, at Miami, at Indiana to start the season.
C.J. Wilkerson hits 1 of 2. He now has 16 points in this game. And the Hurricanes lead at 65-42. Darius Adams at 6'6" in control for Miami. And Ryan Brown called for a travel.
Adams played point guard last year, near the end of the year, a lot. And they played well at the end of the year. When Dwayne Collins got hurt, you know, everybody thought they were going to fall apart, and they actually played very well without him in the ACC tournament. And Adams plays pretty under control for a 6'6" point.
Wilkerson on the drive, gets caught underneath, and it's stolen by Ryan Brown. Quan Jones with the layup.
Well, that's where he's at his best. His athleticism shines in the open floor, and that's where he should use it the most, there and on the offensive glass. Putting the ball on the floor in traffic, which he does a lot, is not advisable.
7 points tonight for DeQuan Jones. McChaston with the left-hand jumper won't go. Akpajori runs it down for the Hurricanes, who lead it by 25, matching their biggest lead of the night. It'll stay with the Hurricanes. A lob to Donovan Kirk, cannot connect.
DeQuan Jones is an athlete, Frank, and you know that by watching them play. And right here, he runs the floor, makes a terrific catch, gets his body under control, and makes a nice shot. Not spectacular, but that could have easily been a turnover. That's the kind of plays he should be making for Miami.
Donovan Kirk with a 15-footer on the baseline. And it's now a 27-point lead for Miami.
Tactically speaking, the three-quarter court press has been very effective. It has gotten North Carolina Central out of what they want to do.
Nice spin move by Wilkerson on the baseline. 18 points for C.J. Wilkerson. Bajori finds Kirk. Donovan called for steps. And Julian Gamble will get up off the Miami bench, along with Adrian Thomas, as Donovan Kirk will take a seat alongside Frank Haith, along with Rafael Akpajori, the freshman.
Lots of playing time for the young guys in the second half in this one. That is very important for the development of your depth. Frank Haith very smart to keep these guys in here for extended minutes.
Haven't seen much of Reggie Johnson in the second half, haven't had to.
No. Grant has been on the bench a long time, as has Scott. Those are the core players for this team.
Chaston in a high post. Limau with the left hand